So, what's the deal? Are you in a relationship now?
What's up?
Are you in a relationship?
I mean,
dating people?
I'm not in a relationship, but you know.
So you are in one. That's cool.
You know.
Life in the love lane, just like Shelly. Shelly likes it.
It's fun.
How do you
I love having a boyfriend.
How do you like it?
I forget how like maternally and wifey I am until I'm placed in situations where it allows me to be that way.
Oh.
It's really funny. I'm very nurturing.
Oh, okay.
I'm very nurturing.
Oh, yeah, I'm nurturing.
I try, but then I'm also super childish, which is not something that I display. Because you get vulnerable a lot when you're in a relationship, and then
Absolutely.
I'm just like, it's funny. I don't know.
Yeah.
You take a very exact man, meaning you have these requirements and you stick to these requirements when it comes to finding a guy, and it's hard. Your requirements are tough.
I've never really gone from. I mean, I say I'm extraordinarily picky. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
I would be very happy being alone for 25 years and then meeting someone good, rather than kind of just meeting guy after. I don't need a guy. I don't need a man. I don't need a guy. And I sound like a pathetic woman who's eating lean cuisine and like crying, but I mean it in a different way. Like I'm very independent emotionally.
Yeah.
So I'm okay. Like I don't need that. But if there's somebody that is interesting to me, then I go for it. I'm not going to date you, Zach.
I've been trying.
Stop.
For years.
It's not going to happen.
I've been making slow attempts.
Yeah, I know.
Even by baking at your boyfriend's house. No, they don't go unnoticed?
What? Yeah, no.
Okay, good. No, so, everybody knows.
In LA, it's very hard to meet girlfriends.
Genuine, I guess, women who are happy for each other.
Like my friend is like, why don't you ever like hang out with girls? Like I have girlfriends. Can't you just make some girlfriends in LA? I'm like, what? How do I do that? Like, what you reading? Like no one's reading. No, I'm going back.
When are you
going
heading
back to the City of Angels.
Well, is this like a permanent move for now? I mean, are you staying there for?
Yeah.
Okay. Nice.
Who are you living with?
What?
Who are you living with?
Friend.
No, but you do. You have a beautiful.
A wise old man in a cave who lets me stay with him I bring fruits and vegetables, and I get because I don't have any money, and neither does he. So we live in Malibu in a cave. It's beautiful.
No, you have a beautiful house.
Thank you. I mean, it's not my house, but thank you so much.
It's beautiful. Where's the last time you went? You took a vacation.
Where's the last time I went? Last time?
When?
Oh.
Do you take those?
I take little day trip things. I went to the zoo recently.
The zoo.
My life sounds dismal. It sounds so terrible.
Who did you go to the zoo with?
My companion.
Where else have you gone? What did you cook last night?
I made chicken parmesan.
Oh, okay.
Not for myself.
Yeah, you don't eat that.
No, but I wanted to like be domestic and see if I could do things.
How is that going?
Being
domestic.
No, it's not the best. But I made a pie too, and I wore an apron, and I lit a candle.
You looked probably sexy while doing it.
I did. I was topless.
Oh, that's phenomenal.
I wasn't topless. I was wearing actual thing. I was wearing a Hooters shirt, the professional version. I went to the store and I bought like the $100 version that the waitresses wear.
Good.
It's a different material, so that was, I guess, interesting. But I was stressed out, and like I was like stressed out and sweating, so it wasn't that hot.
Is that a thing? Like you bought the Hooters outfit obviously for a reason. You're going to use that Hooters outfit.
I just thought it would be funny.
What else is in that arsenal of yours?
No. I don't want. No.
Well, you brought it up.
Snuffleupagus costume.
The sexiest.
For when things get really weird.
So like,
there's nothing.
Okay, so last night you make chicken parm.
And I made a apple pie in a jar.
Wow.
Yeah.
What does your man think of that? Approved? Yes?
Yeah. He didn't know why I was making a pie at midnight, but he was playing video games, so he didn't care.
Good. You like that life?
Sure. What, pie? Midnight pie?
Midnight pie for a man?
For myself. So I can go inside and watch Housewives that I recorded the night before. That's what I'm doing. That's my night.
You should throw a party. You'd have a good time.
I don't throw a party.
Okay, you and your guy throw really great parties.
I'm over it.
What, you're done with them?
Yeah, I hate it.
Why?
Because I hate everybody.
Yeah, I have a great time. Every time I go.
Why don't you tell me what you want, and we'll give you like a
yeah, but tell me.
But I got into some person's. This homeless guy tried to. It was a horrible day. I can't even go into it. Anyway, so I go to this random like dealer, the shop, I guess you call it.
Okay.
I got picked up by my boyfriend. I was literally sitting like this, and the dude goes, "I'm sorry, I know you've had a rough day. I'd offer you a beer, but my kids watch your show, so I know that you're not of age." And I was just like, "I don't like beer anyway." So then I was like having my water, and I got picked up. This is usually it.
How are you doing? Everything
Doing great.
Home going? You told me you got a new animal.
No, I'm getting a new animal, I think.
Okay, number
I want
6.
a French bulldog. Number 6. Well, we had a cat that lived outside and wouldn't name Muffin Brains. I didn't name it.
Good name.
Cat's like 112 years old. I keep Googling when do cats die, like as if that'll speed it up. Not that I don't want the cat to die. It's such a sweet cat, but I'm curious. Like I'm impressed. I didn't know cats could live 18 years. Yeah. I don't want the cat to die, but that's
gonna haunt you now.
What?
It's gonna haunt you.
If my boyfriend sees this video and sees that I Googled when is the cat gonna die, he's gonna be devastated. He grew up with this cat. The cat's very, very sweet, but the cat lives outside and won't come inside ever since we got our big dog Lucy. And so the cat, we came in the house one day. 3 years, mind you, the cat has not come inside. We walk in the house one day and the cat is just sitting basically like this. And we're like, oh, hi, what's up? And I don't know anything about the animal. So now we officially have a proper 5 animals living in the house.
Well, Jesus.
And the house is not huge.
No, you're taking care of them, yeah? I mean,
no, we don't. They live a paradise life. They really do.
I mean, come on. I've been to your home. It's beautiful.
Thank you.
Have you continued to put your touch on it? I know you were redecorating last time.
I actually have furniture coming tomorrow.
Oh.
And I have pillows coming tomorrow. Yeah, I'm a homemaker till the day I die. Susie Homemaker. It's also the biggest joke because, like, I don't know if you saw, they put there's a music video that came out, the Bang Bang music video. Yeah. And I'm just basically I'm like a vampire whore in it. I'm just like rubbing my boobs, and I'm in the shower rubbing my boobs, and then I'm like gyrating on a bed, and then I'm like throwing a man down. And it's my boyfriend saw it and just started laughing. I cut my boyfriend's hair. I did a bad job I did a bad job last year, man. I was like, I can do it. I can do anything. And I can't cut. You can't do that.
No.
It was really intense. I felt really bad. Then I had to go somewhere that night, and it kind of like went up. Because when you cut hair, it goes up. Well, you don't know. When you have long hair, it just goes up after. It calms down in like 2 days.
What is Michael's reaction in that moment?
He's like, well, this sucks, whatever. He literally was like, I could have shaved his head. He would have been pissed, but he just would have like gotten a snack after that. Like he's over it. So.
But I also think like if you took those songs to like a producer and like you matched your, you know what I mean? Like you go to Michael, you know?
Yeah. We try not to mix. It's never good to work with.
You don't shit where you eat.
Anyway, there's always one. When I did a little production on it when we first wrote it, I wrote it with Michael and somebody else, and it was strange. It's a very cheeky song. One of them, the song "Just Let Me Go." And
you gonna get married? Can I ask that?
Sure. I don't know. Fine. Yeah. When you call. Your call.
Pick a date.
Pick a date. I feel like I'm married.
That's it. Like, do you need a ring?
I mean it happily. I feel like I'm happy to be married. I go to Restoration Hardware and I pick out furniture and I bake and I make sure the dogs are fed in there. And actually, my boyfriend does that. I'm not. The dogs would all be literally one on top of another dead if I was in charge. I'm not excellent at that, but I actually am. It's just like, it's like the thing. It's like when you know someone else is going to do it, you don't do it.
Exactly. That really is a long time. So yeah. I mean, you obviously.
I got a place.
You're going to live there, but you have a boyfriend here. You have a life here. Your dogs are here.
Yeah, I have like a lot of animals here, like more than shippable.
Okay, are you worried about the animals back here in LA? Are you worried about?
I'm not worried about them. They have a very capable father who will take care of them.
And how often is the father going to come out to visit you?
Father will come out when he can.
I'll be out there often.
I'm not a needy little girl. I don't need someone constantly there, but yes, it would be nice. I'll leave when I can. He'll come when he can. I was like, I'm not going to take Uber anymore. Look at me. I'm so making a difference. However, then Uber just didn't. They always said no cars available for Liz. Do you know that?
Yes, I do.
Dude, like Michael requested, my boyfriend requested one, and it was like 20 cars, Lux, VIP, helicopter, all right outside.
Did you check your rating?
I must be low because they've cut me off.
Can we do that? Everything, even down to the invitations that you send out when you throw a theme party.
The twist is that no one usually comes. Is the one thing that's always like, hey.
People come.
Lately, well, my boyfriend used to have these big parties, and everyone used to come, kind of open house type of vibe. And I don't like people. It's something about me. It's not something I hide. I don't like, I don't know. It's too many people. I get very nervous. So. When I moved in, we started dating, I was like, no more of that, invite only. So the parties started whittling down more and more and more. And guess what? When you invite 400 people, 200 people, 100 people show up. So when you invite 20 people, like I'm getting 4 people now usually.
You threw a really great New Year's Eve party. I'll forever remember. It was a big one.
Years ago. That was during the same time when the people were coming to my house.
It was quite an extravaganza.
Yeah. I write all the time. I send little memos to my boyfriend. I'm like, what do you think? And he's like, just kidding. No, it's fine. I'm okay with my shopping. It has not gotten crazy.
Yeah.
I'm sure Michael would say otherwise.
He doesn't. Listen, I buy my own clothes, man. I buy everything.
Say it louder for the people in the back.
Dead asleep, out. The sound of my voice. All I do is talk all the time. I just talk all day, every day. And he just goes to sleep. That's love. I videotaped Michael and I was like, I think a ghost just turned off the lamp. I'm having the worst thing right now where I think people are celebrities. I'll be out with my boyfriend. I'll be like, Stanley Tucci behind you. It's Stanley Tucci. It's Stanley Tucci. Michael will be like, I don't think. He's like, are you sure? I'm like, shut up. Yes. Look. And then it's like, I'm not kidding. It's so far off. It was wild to see everybody last night. It really blew my mind. My boyfriend's a Deadhead. My aunt, I went with her too. She's a huge Deadhead. She's been to over 100 shows. And that is what it's called.
Sorry, I'm not old like you.
And I was just like, I don't know what I'm supposed to, like, what am I? Wow. Oh my God.
No, that's.
Like, when have you ever, I'm not like, when have you ever been like, whoa, gee whiz after you have sex? They play it up. I know it happens, but really it happens in a very subtle way. And then maybe you go like order food or you go to sleep. And on TV, it's like this whole, like, you fall back into bed and you're like out of breath for like the whole scene. Like, and why would you have a complicated conversation right after you have sex too? It doesn't add up. So I'm trying to get that taken out of movies and TV. That's going to be my charity.
So we built a home gym.
For me, if there's a scary demon bug in my house, it's got to go. Like, and I do now. I do now eat spiders out of the house because Michael's like that as well. I will carry them out in something.
I love that Michael's like that.
Yeah, he's very much like that. He's like letting it crawl on him. He was an exterminator back in the day for some reason when he was a teenager.
So that is him, like,
he loves that trait about himself. He like loves it. He brings it up all the time. So, as an exterminator, I'm like, no, you were exterminated for one summer in like 1976. I don't know what you're talking about, but it's fine. I don't have a shark thing.
Right. People do have.
And Michael has like a really bad shark thing.
Notice.
Yeah, interesting. And we were scuba diving, and I came up and I was like, you guys, there's like I said to the scuba instructor, I'm like, there's a shark. Is that fine? Like, I think it's like a little shark. And he was like, you're not going to repeat that. You're not going to ruin this for the rest of the people. You're going to keep your mouth shut and you're going to come out. And I was like, what? That's insane. But
when you and your significant other argue, does he ever win?
No. Unfortunately. And it's not because he's not saying more truth. It's just that I have a gift. Kind of like Vince Vaughn in The Breakup. I can just like, It's good that I'm not with somebody like that because it would just be the craziest thing in the entire world. It's not, he wins in the long run. Like he falls asleep and I'm up all night, like feeling bad. That's winning. The person who sleeps wins. That's what I always say. That's the person who can sleep after a fight wins. Yeah, I know. Michael too. It's crazy.
That's so funny.
Love it. What's the nicest thing you've ever done for your significant other?
Aside from cooking a meal, which I always think is a very big thing and it's very nice. It becomes something, it becomes like an old hat, but it's like, that's like a nice thing to do for someone. To surprise them with a special little snack. I like to make birthdays and events and holidays and Valentine's Days special. And so I always try to plan something special. So, I always have like a little,
like a puppy moment.
Okay. Yes. My first year, I think, this was actually really sweet. One year I was away. I was in Canada filming the incredible Oscar-winning movie Killing Daddy on Lifetime, which I actually wasn't nominated for, which is so crazy because I was so good in it.
There's still a chance. Listen.
Yeah. You know what? Maybe they just lost it in the mail. They just lost it in the mail. That's what it is. And he loves Star Wars. So I got a Darth Vader to come to the house and sing him happy birthday in the middle of his birthday party. And he was big and fat and bad. And he was bad. And everyone loved it so much. And there happened to be a musician there and he played the theme when he walked in. And he was like, where's Michael? Hey there. And I was like, what is this? It's so weird. But I was calling from Canada. I was like, and you have a good Darth Vader? The guy's like, yeah, it was great. I was like, oh my God, amazing. I've had portraits drawn of the dogs and framed. I've had pigs show up for Valentine's Day wearing t-shirts that say I love you. I've had goats. And then, puppy party, a surprise puppy party I had too, which sounds like a little girl thing, but we love dogs. So, would you be bummed out by a puppy party, Andrew?
No, I love that.
It's just tough because we wanted to adopt them all.
Yeah.
So that was bad. But then we didn't. So, we just kind of put it in the back of our heads. And then he's recorded a couple of covers I like for me, which always really surprises me. And, it's hard. He doesn't like doing it. So when he does it, it means a lot to me. And I cherish them. So we do things for each other. He had adopted a cockroach for me from the Bronx Zoo for Valentine's Day. Yes, you can adopt and name a cockroach.
How does that work?
You just do it online. You just like adopt a cockroach in your name. I don't ever meet it. I've never met him. I hope he's okay. That's how we are, though. We like funny little. Was that about
was that a request, or was that done like as a surprise?
It was most certainly not a request. It was absolutely a surprise for Val. But that's my type of humor. I was like, that's adorable. Like, what a sweet little cockroach with my name on it.
I love it.
Yeah, we're a little weird, but that's how we roll over here. We're not very diamonds and things. We kind of roll more sentimental as far as gifts. That's how we like to play. So whatever.
You're not alone there, honey.
I like it. I prefer it.
Yeah, it's real. I mean, not that the other way isn't, but it's just showing your love.
I'd rather laugh. That's where I'm at in my life. I'd rather have a good laugh and a good cry.
But you're happy also cry. Like 47. Mm-hmm. So like that's what a 47-year-old would say.
You guys have obviously been together for a long time. What's one thing besides interesting gifts that you do to keep the relationship interesting?
I think carving out time for little dates is always important. Even if that means just doing something together that doesn't involve, like for you guys, maybe like doesn't involve Gio, or for us doesn't involve our dogs, because all we live to serve them, and they come with us to everything and we love them so much. It sounds weird. Aside from that, just having interests in common. Like we love doing house projects together, you know, like as a team and doing team stuff. And I don't mean team in that creepy way people like refer to themselves, but like I do. It's kind of, there is something to it. And having a show you love together and not doing everything independently. I think common interests, common projects and goals, I think that's all great.
Yep.
Yeah, August 8th, 2020, believe it or not, in New Jersey, Zach, in the middle of New Jersey. This RV somehow, even though we bought it together, fell under my curse. Everyone said, get a C, it's too big, it's too cumbersome, you don't want to get an A. But, you know, Michael's like, we'll get the biggest car and we'll do the biggest one. And I was like, I don't think bigger is like necessarily actually better in this case. No, it might be.
You have to navigate this thing. Like somebody needs to be at the helm of this cruise ship.
And you know I don't drive.
No.
So I'm just like
Mini Cooper,
burdening him. Yeah, I drove a Mini Cooper. Right? Could you imagine me? Like, oh no. So I get. He agrees, we do the car, and then I get into this crazy decorating mode. I'm like, I'm gonna make this car so incredible. I'm gonna make this the most amazing RV in the world. So we get it. I decorate it. We drove off the lot, by the way, accidentally without even signing anything. We were so excited. It gets to our driveway and it almost falls over our driveway completely. So we take this thing out on the road. The carbon monoxide detector starts going off full blast. Dogs running everywhere 7 hours into the thing. The alarm is completely faulty. Going off, going crazy. And then we are at our final gas station. We did everything perfectly. I'm really skipping past a lot of crazy stuff that went down. And then a woman just drives right into the RV that we just bought. She just drove right into it. So he did a perfect job. We were like, I'm like, you are an amazing driver and you crushed this challenge, partner. Like, this is our new partnership and you're incredible. And then she just drove right into the car at a gas station. We were able to enjoy that night as if there wasn't this, you know, elephant in the room. And it was just like amazing, and it was beautiful, and the weather was beautiful, and it was great. It was just perfect. So
what did your dad say?
What did my dad say? Well, my dad married us. Can you believe?
I know. I mean, that really hit home.
He worked so hard on this beautiful, like, amazing ceremony for Michael and I, and my parents love Michael so much, and so that made it easier for them, because I feel like if he had to marry us and he hated Michael, that would have sucked. But he likes him a lot, and they've known him now for years. We've dated a while, and so it was really special. And everyone was spaced out, and it was just like it felt like the wedding that I should have been planning from the beginning, and it was everything that I wanted. And it was in New Jersey, which made it so great. Michael and I, he's Corcoran and I'm Gillies. It's like Irish Scotland, crazy Ireland world. So
you're gonna produce a beautiful ginger.
We've also been together so long. Isn't like we're gonna have different new feelings and new thoughts and realize we don't like each other in this quarantine. Although I'm sure that's happened for lots of people. So I used to go to, whenever we had a fight, I used to go to the movies. That was my thing. Clearly, I mean, I don't know when I'll step foot in a movie theater again, if ever. You know,
a testament to one, your relationship with Michael that you chose.
Oh yeah.
On. I mean, this was many big things you've taken on with him.
Oh yeah. Endless. We've been together for so long that I feel he already was my husband, But we really have been put to the test with this whole thing. And I think that's why we were like, okay, look, we've done all these things together, endless tests and triumphs and whatever, hardships and successes. And I was like, we did a pandemic. We just did this RV. Let's lock this up. We're good. We passed. Because I like to be really sure. Hence the very long time that we were together before. I think of people who are married in 2 weeks, and I was like, you have no idea. You have no clue. Even if you think you know, you have no idea. You should hang out a little longer, because I promise you'll be like, oh.
You learn a lot. I mean, you probably still learn some things about Michael, maybe not every day, but every now and then.
Yeah, I do learn things. You always keep learning. Sometimes you surprise yourself with how you're behaving, and then they learn something about you. I've been a little funny in this quarantine, so he's a good sport for sure. It's been a ride. But you've known us forever. It's very funny because people are. I don't really read things. It's kind of not because like it affects my heart and I go and I cry and I text my friends, because I don't really care as much about, not that I don't care what people say, but I don't focus on it or harp in on it. And so I'll skim sometimes. And some people are like, wow, you just pulled this out of nowhere. This is a person we had no idea existed, and you just dropped this bomb on us. Like, they don't even know what to make of it. And I feel like if you were reading the signs and paying attention, I wore my engagement ring for a year. I wore it for a year, but it's an emerald, so nobody read into it. It was on my ring finger. I would be like, ha, 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 that's funny. And no one read into it. And I talk about him on the show for a million years. And I was in the music video with him, Ari's music video.
Well, and there's a couple photos. There's one in 2014. There's one in 2016.
4 photos. I'm private. I don't want people weighing in on my relationship. Now it's out the door. I did what I did. Like, this wedding was really special and pretty. And I also wanted to talk about kind of switching up plans in the pandemic and how important it was. So I allowed it to go.
Because it really could have been a secret that lasted you as long as that.
It already lasted. It lasted a month. But my family too. They're like, our daughter got married and we want to talk about it and we want to share photos. I wouldn't send them any photos. And I was like, what, let me find a way to kind of like announce this in an elegant sort of way, and then we can go from there. And so I did it really for our families, so that they could have some normalcy.
Any nerves attached to the age difference between you and Michael? Because people who really know you two, like, it's not even a thought that has ever crept into my brain ever, because I genuinely know you as a family with your animals and all of it. But does that get into your brain at all?
No, I never think about it, and obviously it's not an issue for us. Any joke or any comment that's being made now has been made by me or other people 30,000 times. And like, I hate to say people's material is unoriginal, but I'm reading everything, like, kind of scrolling for like a winner. I mean, most of the response has been really positive. I think the followers of my career who have really been paying attention know how important this relationship is to me, even though I've been so quiet about it. And all our friends, of course, anytime you saw me, you saw Michael. I mean, we would host parties at our home together, and we're kind of a package deal. So I'm glad it was able to be under wraps for this long. But I mean, you look at it on paper. Is it a great math problem? No, but it's never been a problem for us. And anyone who knows me knows the odds of me ever dating or marrying anybody my age fell between 0 and 3%. So we're lucky, actually, that this is the age difference, because it could have been crazier. I remember the day I met him he came to set on Victorious, and he met the cast, and I went up back to the schoolroom with Leon, and he's like, oh, Michael seems cool. And I was like, I'm going to date him. And Leon's like, oh, Liz, you're silly. And I was like, no, I'm gonna date him. I just don't know when. I'm gonna put that one on the back burner in the back of my mind. So, obviously he had no interest in me. He never looked at me in that way. And he was in a relationship with someone older than him. So I was like, okay, I have no chance. This is insane. So then years later, he wasn't in a relationship. I was in a relationship, and it just evolved, and it was really meant to be. And everyone was very happy for us. It seemed out of reach, but nothing's ever totally out of reach with me. And so, yeah, we made it happen, and our friends have been supportive the whole way. You can write whatever you want. It's really fine. We're good. And also, when I'm on the phone now, I'll be like, well, that's not true, because my husband, no. My husband and I went there tonight. My husband, let me speak. My husband and I get off on it a little bit, I'll be honest. It fits the whole character. It's when somebody says I seem young or that I'm too young. I'm just like, I don't think you've ever spent a moment with me. I don't think you've ever met me. It's amazing that I'm not with like a 75-year-old man with like a green hunter green like jacket and a pipe. Like it's incredible. Well, that's been the thing, you know, I've been writing a lot during the pandemic. I've written a bunch of songs, and you know, Michael and I wrote the song that's going to be on Dynasty when we go back. So I'm so excited to perform that. That Fallon sings to Liam. It's a wedding song, and it's lovely, and so I can't wait to do that.
Did you perform it at your wedding?
No. Hey everybody! For this moment, I am Fallon, and Michael is here we go. Yeah, he's been producing all the songs for our show for 3 years.
So I was just watching the musical episode.
Oh yeah.
Did he do all those covers? And you know what I kept thinking?
Yeah, he does all of them.
What about you and Michael doing something? Now that the cat's out of the bag, the world knows you're married.
You'll never see us together again after this. I hope everyone had fun. Like, get ready for another 12-year dip. It's not happening. Why would I open my relationship up to the world again? Bye-bye. Well, I'm very happy in my life. I don't need people weighing in. I never do red carpets either, obviously. He goes to the BMI awards. He has a ton of those. And so once in a while they go and get images. I don't go to events. They find like these pictures from 100 years ago where he's like this. And I'm like, they're a nightmare. It's funny. So my mom and I started watching it. Michael was watching it. George was watching it. We were all watching it. I love being alone.
But you're married. And you share a house.
I can still like being alone. I mean, I'm a person who thrives alone. So if you can find someone in your life who lets you thrive alone, that's the tea. You just have to find somebody that lets you be independent completely. And then I think you'll have real love.
What type of person is that person? Is it somebody who's not needy? Is it somebody who has their own stuff going on?
All of the above. Someone who's content being alone themselves. I think a loner should be with a loner. I cannot imagine a loner being with a not loner. That sounds crazy. Can you imagine? Oh my God. Oh, I just had the thought of just like someone just like pulling on my shirt, kind of, you know, metaphorically. So I talk to them when I want to be alone. Oh, horrible.
He hangs out with, you know, my husband a lot too. Like they'll do their like sport boy thing, and then
we go out to dinners like
go to dinner all the time.
Every now and
then with Daddy G too,
Grant too. We used to go to pre-COVID. We go to some bars and have just great times.
Nights. So much fun, man. It was crazy. I was like, I come home and I'm just like, I'm so tired. And my husband's like, why? And I'm like, Michael, I was literally having sex with Adam for 7.5 hours today. I'm so tired. And he's like, that's crazy, babe. Thank God they're friends. Thank God. But yeah, that was insane.
Hey, she's very like intuitive, like with what's going on in my.
I'm like, I also can.
She's
read
like, Adam,
well.
what's going on?
I know what's going on. If he has a weird date, if he's thinking about something, if he's debating something, I'm like, I get it out of him. I pull it out of him.
Yeah,
very pushy.
And your husband.
Me and my hubs, yeah. And then Michael will just like lay it out. Like,
and it's great. I'm like, wow.
He and I are very.
Sometimes I just need someone to tell me how it is.
We don't have our heads in the clouds at all. Maybe to a fault. We're very like.
The most grounded, feet planted.
I know. But it's good to be a romantic.
So then I found out that